Good evening, and thank you for joining me for another Boring Books for Bedtime. I hope tonight's selection provides all the boredom your busy brain needs to quiet down and let you get some sleep. Before we begin, I'd like to give a special shout out of thanks to some new members of our Patreon family: Snuffy, Alex, Jean, Linda, Barbara, Jade, Paul, Donnie Style, Ashlyn, Sin, Ani, and John from Jeonju. Thank you all so much for supporting this podcast. By becoming members of Patreon, you help us remain 100% listener-supported and ad-free for everyone, and it's very much appreciated. If you're interested in supporting Boring Books for Bedtime and finding out more about the perks available to subscribers, including exclusive episodes, full books, and giveaways found nowhere else, you'll find a link to Patreon in the show description. You'll also find a link to buymeacoffee.com, where you can support us with a one-time tip. No subscription required. I hope you'll take a moment to check them out. Now, let's read and relax. Find a comfortable spot. Adjust your volume. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it out slowly. And off we go. Tonight, let's celebrate our 400th episode with more from a book that has been requested again and again ever since this podcast started. And this time, we're reading from a new category selected by our Patreon members. Let's relax with more from the 1897 Sears Roebuck & Co. Incorporated Consumer's Guide, number 104. That's right, it's the Sears catalog, and this time we're shopping for that most useful of devices, the sewing machine. Let's begin. Sewing Machine Headquarters. We say headquarters because we honestly believe we are prepared to furnish sewing machines direct to the family for less money than any other concern in existence. We guarantee our prices to be lower than any competitors, and we have many competitors. First, we have the country retail dealer, canvasser, or peddler. He will charge you 3 prices for a sewing machine and then try to convince you that you are getting value received. Don't be deceived. He is compelled to sell a machine for 3 times its value. No wonder he talks. He has to. Why? The wholesaler sells him the machines on long time at a big profit enough to pay for the risk taken. To the big price already paid, the agent must add enough to pay all his expenses for traveling on the road, rent, help, etc., etc. To all this he must add his profit, for he must look to his sewing machine for a living. No wonder you pay $40, $50, or $60 for a sewing machine worth $15. He may tell you that his machine at $60 is better than ours at $18.50. Don't believe him. We say it is not, and we guarantee our statements. Whose guarantee is the best? Another competitor is the various catalog houses, some of which are reliable, many are not. The reliable ones will sell you a good machine, far cheaper than your retail dealer. The unreliable ones you cannot afford to patronize. About this class of competition, we have something to say. In quality and price, they cannot compete with us. Our prices are far below all others. If we were to depend on the sales of sewing machines alone to defray all expenses, including rent, salaries, etc., we perhaps would be compelled to ask as much as our competitors, but we do not depend on sewing machines to defray this expense. It costs us very little to sell them. When the expense of selling our merchandise is divided up, we find it necessary to charge but very little to the sewing machine department. We have nothing to charge for bad debts, no traveling men's expenses, no interest, no additional rent, very little additional help, and what is of equal importance, a small conservative profit. Thus, while we believe we sell more sewing machines than any other advertising house, our profit on each machine is so little that in the aggregate it would not pay even the clerk hire and the rent of some of our competitors, who of necessity must ask more for their machines to defray this expense, as they do almost, if not quite, an exclusive sewing machine business. For the season of 1896, we have many special bargains to offer in sewing machines, bargains against which we have absolutely no competition. Our contracts for the season of 1896 are larger than ever, and on our system of selling direct from the manufacturer to the consumer, on our small profit plan, we are able to offer the highest grade of work it is possible for mechanical genius to produce, and at lower prices than ever before. We have in our employ one of the best sewing machine experts in the country. He has devoted a great deal of time in going over the different machines manufactured, with a view to offering our customers the best machine it is possible to produce, machines which embrace the good qualities of all with the defects of none, and we believe without dispute that we have the best line of sewing machines on the market regardless of price. In verification of our belief, we are perfectly willing to send our machines to any address, subject to examination and trial, and send with every machine a most binding 10 years guarantee, not only agreeing to make good any piece or part that may give out by reason of defective material or workmanship, but guaranteeing our machine to be equal to any machine made by any concern in existence, and our prices to be less than the same machine can be produced by any other concern. In our descriptions, we have endeavored to honestly and clearly represent and describe each machine by use of the engravings, which are made from photographs taken directly from the machines. We have endeavored to show you exactly what our line is. We have no one on the ground to talk for us, no one to repair our machines. Consequently, every machine we send out must be fully up to the representation and even better than we have described it, in strictly first-class condition, ready to run perfectly from the start and never get out of order. We must also send a better machine in appearance and finish than your dealer's machine. This we always do. Our binding 10 years guarantee accompanies each machine. It is the longest, strongest, and most binding guarantee issued by any sewing machine concern. Before we would affix our signatures to such a guarantee, we had to be satisfied that the machine was so constructed as to quality of material, workmanship, and finish that it would not only wear and give perfect satisfaction for 10 years without expensive repairs, but it would with ordinary usage last a lifetime. We have handled these machines for about 10 years, and so far have been put to no expense whatever for repairs. This most extraordinary record ensures us of the safety of doing what we believe no other thoroughly reliable house has ever done, viz., send a 10 years binding guarantee with every sewing machine we sell, covering every piece and part in its construction. Many irresponsible concerns issue guarantees regardless of the quality of the goods, and with no thought of protecting same. For that reason, we would urge you to investigate any sewing machine manufacturers who are advertising extensively and learn what their responsibility is. Unless a concern is honest and reliable, their guarantee is worthless. Our reliability can be ascertained by writing to any express company in Chicago, any national bank in Chicago, any old reliable business house in Chicago, or you are at liberty, if you choose, to send your order and money to the National Bank of Illinois in this city, with instruction not to turn it over to us unless they know us to be perfectly reliable. Ask your nearest express agent about us. Nearly every express agent in the United States delivers our goods and knows of our reputation for fair and honorable dealing. We are authorized and incorporated under the laws of the state of Illinois with a cash capital of $150,000 paid in full. We have just moved into our entire new building, built especially for our exclusive use, one of the largest business blocks in Chicago, 6 full stories and a basement, 100 feet wide by 180 feet deep, with 110,000 square feet of floor space. We employ over 500 clerks and are in a position to serve you as no other concern can. We are so confident that our sewing machine will please you that you will agree with us to its being as fine a machine as it is possible to produce, equal to any machine on the market at any price, finished in the highest style of the art, a machine possessing the good points of every machine with the defects of none, and you will agree the price is below competition, that we make the following special offers. Send us $3 as a guarantee of good faith, and we will send any machine you may select by freight. You can examine it at the freight depot, and if found perfectly satisfactory and exactly as represented, pay the agent our price and freight charges, less the $3, and the machine is yours. Then give the machine a thorough trial for 20 days, and if not found perfectly satisfactory, return it at our expense, and we will refund your money. Another way. If you live within 500 miles of Chicago, we will, on receipt of $3, send the sewing machine to you by express COD, subject to examination. You can pay the express agent our price for the sewing machine and express charges, less the $3 sent with order, and take the machine. We will instruct the agent to hold the money 20 days, during which time you can give the machine a thorough trial. If not found entirely satisfactory and exactly as represented, you may return the machine any time within 20 days to the express agent, and he will refund all your money. The machine will be returned to us at our expense, and on receipt of same, we will return you your $3. we allow a discount of 3% when cash in full accompanies your order. If you send the full amount of cash with your order, you may deduct 3% from our price. The best way is to send cash in full, for you not only save the 3%, but save express charges on return of money to us. Nearly all of our customers send cash in full. You take no risk, for we will immediately refund your money if you are not perfectly satisfied. We allow 3% discount on all cash orders up to $50, 4% on all cash orders of from $50 to $100, and 5% on all cash orders over $100. It will pay you to club with your neighbors. Read the descriptions carefully. We have carefully and thoroughly described each machine we handle, the Success, the Iowa, and the Minnesota, and in the different cabinets. We offer the Success in competition with the many cheap machines which are being so extensively advertised by catalog houses, while we guarantee it to be equal to any of the so-called Singer machines and other cheap machines so extensively advertised. We do not especially recommend it. On the contrary, we prefer to sell the Minnesota. Not that there is any more profit in the machine to us, but because we know it will give the best satisfaction, and the best is always the cheapest in the end. The Iowa is a high-grade machine, which we guarantee in every respect, and which will give the best satisfaction. A machine that is thoroughly modern, and as you will find the description, possesses the good points of the best machines made. It is equal to the best machines that are being advertised by catalog houses today, and far superior to the cheaper grades advertised by many concerns. Item 91001. Our Success Machine for $8.50. While we do not care to recommend this machine too highly, we do not hesitate to say it is fully equal to machines generally advertised at $18 to $25 and retailed at $25 to $35. These machines are made after the latest models of the Singer Company's machines and are perfect facsimiles of their machine in shape, ornamentation, and appearance, with the exception of the lettering on the arm of machine and the trademark. All the parts are made to gauge exactly the same as the Singer Company's parts, and are constructed respectively of precisely the same materials. The utmost care is exercised in the selection of the metals used, and only the very best quality is purchased. Each machine is thoroughly well made, and is fitted with the utmost nicety and exactness, and no machine is permitted by the inspector to go out of the shop until it has been fully tested and proved to do perfect work, and run light and without noise. Note: self-threading shuttle. A perfect steel shuttle with delicate and perfect tension open to allow the bobbin to be inserted without displacing any part of the shuttle. Holds more thread than any Singer machine shuttle. Runs loose in shuttle with spring center and point bearings, thus ensuring an even tension, and all annoyance resulting from shuttle thread breaking while the machine is in motion, which is common to many machines, is entirely obviated. The stand is among the handsomest in design, finely japanned, has large drive wheel. It rests on 4 casters and can be easily moved. The treadle is set on anti-friction bearings that run light and never need oil, thus saving the carpet from grease and spots. The dress guard over band wheel is large and protects the operator's dress from oil. With every machine is furnished registered warranty for 10 years. Any machine not satisfactory can be returned and money will be refunded. Where can you buy a machine on more favorable terms? Complete set of best attachments with each machine without extra charge as mentioned hereon. Quick sales and small profits are the proper principles on which to do business, and we are determined to see how much the people will appreciate it. Each machine is nicely packed in a wooden crate, free of charge. Also, the following attachments free accompany each machine of whatever style. Furnished with the following equipment of tools and accessories: 1 foot hammer, 1 screwdriver, 1 wrench, 1 oil can and oil, 1 gauge, 1 extra throat plate, 1 extra check spring, 1 package of needles, 6 bobbins, and 1 instruction book. In addition to the above, we furnish with each machine an extra set of attachments, free of charge, consisting of the following: 1 tucker, 1 foot ruffler, 1 set of plain hammers, 5 different widths up to 7/8 of an inch, 1 binder, and 1 thread cutter. Item 91001. Low arm success with 1 drawer, no cover. Price $8.50. Item 91002. Low arm success with 1 drawer and cover. Price $10. Item 91003. Low arm success with 3 drawers and cover. $11.90. Item 91004. Low arm success with 5 drawers and cover. $12.90. Item 91005. Low arm success with 7 drawers and cover. Price $13.90. Read and reflect. Ornamented head, nickel-plated balance wheel, handsome oil-polished best walnut or oak woodwork of the latest design, Gothic cover with beautiful veneered panels, convenient drawers with nickel drop ring handles and good locks, iron stand and casters as illustrated above with all the attachments. The Success is a perfect working sewing machine in every particular. It is finely finished, the wood being of the best seasoned walnut or oak, and the greatest care is exercised in the manufacture of each part. Money will be refunded if not just as represented. Remember, the Success is not a cheap machine in quality, but in price. Our great reduction in prices is to increase the demand for our goods. When ordering, give plain shipping directions, giving the town, county, and state, the number and price of the machine, and where to ship machine. You can send money by P.O. money order, registered letter, or bank draft, any one of which is perfectly safe. Item 91006. The Iowa for $13.25. Guaranteed equal to machines retailed at from $35 to $45. Far better than machines advertised by other houses at from $20 to $30. Everything about this machine is strictly first class. The Iowa has been manufactured in order to meet a growing demand for a machine of this kind. The Iowa is made with great care. The special points claimed for it are as follows: double eccentric on main shaft for operating the shuttle and feed levers, made of one piece and so perfectly balanced that vibration is reduced to the minimum, requiring but one adjustment, no slipping of eccentrics, and therefore throwing machine out of time. Feed mechanism much lighter, less material to be vibrated by springs, mechanical in construction, no knocking or side lash, hence no rawhide to deaden sound required. Double feed, so operated that whether long or short stitch is used, the middle section of teeth always starts from immediately behind the needle, ensuring thereby a perfect and uniform stitch. Also so arranged that the feed does not fall until point of needle enters the goods, the benefit of which is obvious. The guard for thread controller on inside of faceplate prevents injury or displacement, a frequent source of annoyance in some machines. Loose pulley device, easily and quickly adjusted, relieving the shaft from friction and all wing shaft end to be neatly finished off, avoiding the unsightly wobbling of balance wheel, which in time wears out of true. Cylinder shuttle, self-threading, large loose bobbin, a delicate and perfect tension, oil holes large and free. The stand is beautiful in design, light and graceful in appearance, and at the same time strong and substantial. The belt replacer is simple and effective, the utility of which the ladies will fully appreciate. Treadle hung on ball bearings requiring no oil, hence no soiled carpets. The Iowa is a perfect working sewing machine in every particular, and is equal to any $45 machine in the market. It is finely finished, the wood being of seasoned walnut or oak, and the greatest care is exercised in the manufacture of each part. The Iowa head is shown in the picture. It has a very high arm. It is beautifully finished in every way, very simple as shown in cut, almost impossible to get out of order. It is constructed on superior mechanical principles. The lever and eccentric, which, as is well known, are used only in the first-class, high-grade sewing machines. This combination requires but 4 working parts, and is the simplicity of sewing mechanism. This is a picture of the under part of the head, showing the mechanical construction of the Iowa. Very simple, consequently easy running, no noise, no danger of getting out of order. Made of the best material and every part true to gauge. The Iowa uses the same needles as all first-class machines, so you can get them anywhere. The Iowa's attachments. We furnish a more complete and better outfit of attachments with the Iowa than you will get with other machines. The following attachments are furnished: 1 foot hammer, 1 screwdriver, 1 wrench, 1 oil can and oil, 1 gauge, 1 extra throat plate, 1 extra check spring, 1 package of needles, 6 bobbins, 1 instruction book, 1 tucker, 1 foot ruffler, 1 set of plain hammers, 5 different widths up to 7/8 of an inch, 1 binder, and 1 thread cutter. There are many inferior attachments, but we furnish only the best, a set you will never wear out. Can you run it? Anyone can operate the Iowa. Our book of instructions makes it very plain, and as all is so simple, even a child could run it. Item 91006, Iowa, with 3 drawers and cover, $13.25. Item 91007, Iowa with 5 drawers and cover, $14.25. Item 91008, Iowa with 7 drawers and cover, like machine illustrated above, $15.25. Item 91011, Buy the Minnesota. It is the best machine on earth. The Minnesota number 91011 at $18.55, and the Minnesota Special number 91014 at $21.55 are wonders. By all means, buy the best, the Minnesota number 91014. The Minnesota is a superior machine in many ways. First, the attachments are the best and most complete made. The Minnesota attachments are illustrated above, consisting of 1 foot hammer, 2 screwdrivers, 1 wrench, 1 oil can and oil, 1 gauge, 1 extra throat plate, 1 extra check spring, 1 package of needles, 6 bobbins, 1 instruction book, 1 tucker, 1 foot ruffler, 1 set of plain hammers in different widths up to 7/8 of an inch, 1 binder, 1 thread cutter, and quilter. These attachments are the highest grade made, nicely finished and polished, with a view of doing the finest work. The Minnesota Head. We used this engraving of our Minnesota machine to point out to you as clearly as possible the many advantages possessed over the ordinary sewing machine. From the marks indicated by the ciphers and by dotted lines, we point out the special features of the Minnesota as a confirmation that the machine possesses the good points of all the high-grade machines with the defects of none. And if there is anything omitted in the construction of the head, the all-essential part to a sewing machine, we are not aware of it. Every piece and part that enters into the construction of the head is the best that money can buy. By this cut, we wish to point out to you the best self-threading, vibrating shuttle action ever produced, the most simple and best double-thread lock stitch made, the most simple and durable automatic tension and stitch regulator, which is equaled by no other machine, a tension liberator, which is one of the greatest improvements over other machines, an adjustable and automatic improved take-up, the latest style loose wheel, noiseless wear-resisting shuttle carrier, adjustable bearing needle bar, which can never get out of order, an automatic bobbin winder, the best automatic winder made. The Minnesota head is constructed on the most simple, wear-resisting, anti-friction eccentric principle, which makes the machine run almost entirely noiseless and lighter than any other machine made, so light in fact that a child can operate it, and the machine can hardly be heard in a room when running to its full capacity. For general appearance, the cut does not in any way do the head justice. as it is very elaborately finished, highly enameled and ornamented, nickel-plated and decorated. In fact, we believe we produce in the Minnesota the handsomest head which is made by any sewing machine concern. It is also very high, being somewhat higher than any other machine made, thus permitting the sewing of bulky goods with perfect ease. There is no machine made which will do as great a variety of work as satisfactorily as the Minnesota. You can, with the same needle, sew the finest fabrics or the coarsest woolens. In fact, one of our customers in writing says it will sew anything from the finest tissue paper to sheet iron. Don't be deceived by the many flattering advertisements that are circulating throughout the country from concerns who pretend to be sewing machine manufacturers, and who would endeavor to lead you to believe that they can furnish you a high-grade sewing machine for less money than the Minnesota. If you send for their machine, send for ours also. Put them side by side, pass judgment on their general appearance and construction, then put them to the more important test of the work. The result will be our machine will stay in your house, the other will go back. We could fill a large volume and then not use all the testimonials we have received from customers who have purchased the Minnesota machine and unsolicited have of their own free will written us strong letters of testimonial, and in every case reported the finest machine they have ever seen. Nothing finer made at any price. When you can save $30 to $40 and get the best machine it is possible to produce, regardless of price, have it sent to you subject to examination with privilege of 20 days trial, a machine backed by a most binding guarantee for 10 years, during which time a concern with a capital of $150,000 guarantees to replace any piece or part which may give way by reason of defective material or workmanship. We think you must agree it is a proposition you cannot afford to ignore. Stitch regulator. The length of stitch is regulated by a thumb screw located on the bed plate directly in front of the upright arm, convenient for the operator, and does not vibrate with the motion of the machine and cannot come loose. Hence the length of the stitch cannot vary. It also has a scale and can be changed from 6 to 32 stitches to the inch. The length of stitch on the Minnesota can be regulated while the machine is in motion. You can also stop the feed by pushing back the stitch regulator, thereby enabling the operator to do darning without attachments. Tension liberator. The latest and one of the most useful improvements ever added to a sewing machine. By its use, all tension upon the upper thread is relieved by simply pressing down on a convenient lever adjusted to the tension plate, so that work can be withdrawn from under the needle without slackening the thread by hand. By this ingenious little device, all danger of breaking or bending the needle and of breaking the thread when removing the work is avoided. Improved take-up is adjustable and automatic, controlling the thread perfectly on all grades of work. Improved loose wheel enables the operator to wind the bobbin without running the machine. This saves unnecessary wear of the machine and the trouble of unthreading and removing the work while the bobbin is being filled. Light running is a great feature of the Minnesota machine. It does not fatigue the operator, makes little noise, sews rapidly, and is acknowledged the easiest running shuttle sewing machine on the market. Adjustable presser foot. By simply turning a screw cap on the top of the faceplate, back of the needle bar, the entire pressure can be taken off the goods, thereby enabling the operator to do all kinds of artwork, including embroidery, arrasine, etching, chenille, zephyr, worsted, tinsel, etc. Any fancy work that can be done on any other sewing machine is easily accomplished on the Minnesota. Improved shuttle carrier. This has heretofore been the cause of nearly all the noise and racket made by a sewing machine in motion. We use the improved shuttle carrier, reducing the friction to a minimum, thereby making the Minnesota almost noiseless. Needle bar. It is made of the finest steel, carefully hardened with adjustable bearings, thereby ensuring great durability and requiring but little oil. The needle bar is fitted with our improved oil cup at bottom, preventing the oil from soiling goods while sewing. It is self-threading. There are no holes to thread through excepting the eye of the needle. The stand is handsome in design. It rests on 4 casters and can be easily moved about. The treadle is hung on adjustable anti-friction hardened steel centers or bearings that run very light. The pitman has ball joint connections with no side draft. Our stand is the most perfect ever invented. Pivoted balance wheel and treadle. Each machine is fitted with our new style pivoted balance wheel and treadle. The former is adjusted on 2 hardened steel centers, the object of which is to give a more steady motion, also to facilitate the light running qualities. The dress guard over band wheel is large and prevents contact of the dress with the wheel, thus preventing soiled or torn garments. Cabinet work. We furnished the Minnesota in 2 styles of woodwork, viz. The regular and the special. Item 91011. Regular grade Minnesota. Price $18.55. No one meets our prices. Remember our 10-year binding guarantee, which is sent with every machine we sell. All machines are crated and delivered on board cars at Chicago without extra charge. All Minnesota machine cabinets are made of solid antique oak or black walnut as desired, with drop-leaf table, beautifully carved, nickel-plated locks and ring pulls. Item 91009. Regular style Minnesota with 2 drawers and cover and drop leaf. Price $16.55. Item 91010. Regular style Minnesota with 3 drawers and cover and drop leaf. Price $17.55. Item 91011. Regular style Minnesota with 7 drawers and cover and drop leaf. Price $18.55. Item 91014. Our Minnesota Special Grade. Our special grade is very elaborate in style and finish. Finest nickel-plated locks and ring pulls. The cover is the handsomest bent wood style, and the framework of the drawers is of the latest skeleton design. Beautifully paneled, as shown in cut, nicely carved and joined together. It has a long center pull-out drawer instead of the swing drawer. making it the most expensive and richest machine cabinet work that can be secured, and heretofore has been used only on the highest priced machines, gotten up for exhibition at fairs, expositions, etc. Remember, this machine is no better than our regular Minnesota. The head and in fact all mechanism is exactly the same. It will wear no longer or give no better satisfaction than the regular Minnesota. The only difference is in the cabinet. This cabinet is a work of art, and at the slight difference in cost is sure to please. Item 91012, Special Style Minnesota with 3 drawers, cover, and drop leaf. Price $18.55. Item 91013, Special Style Minnesota with 5 drawers, cover, and drop leaf. Price $19.55. Item 91014, Special Style Minnesota with 7 drawers, cover, and drop leaf. Same as in illustration. Price $20.55. Our advice is to order the Special Minnesota. You will then have a sewing machine which excels all others. All machines finished in solid antique oak or walnut as desired. All shipped from Chicago. All machines are crated and delivered on board cars at Chicago without extra charge. The 3% cash discount which we allow on all fully paid orders will very frequently pay transportation charges on the order. We are anxious for you to save as large a percentage on your purchase as possible. Item 91018, our $24.75 new drop head stand Minnesota. This is the highest grade drop head stand made. It is covered by patents which we control, and while there are many imitations, there is no such a stand on the market as the one we offer at $24.75. It works automatically, and when open, affords plenty of room for work. When closed, makes a very nice writing desk, library stand, or table, and is in itself an elegant piece of furniture, being made of solid oak, quartered, finished antique, elaborately carved, paneled, ornamented, and decorated. Comes complete with 5 drawers, 2 on each side and 1 center drawer. Furnished with the finest and most complete set of attachments given with any machine made, and is a machine that the owner may well be proud of. While our Minnesota heads, as before explained, are alike, and you can produce exactly the same results from our number 91009 regular style Minnesota at $16.65, as you can with those at $24.75. We by all means recommend our latest new drop head stands. They are the very latest style and are being adopted by all the standard sewing machine companies. If you buy the old style sewing machine stand, you will in a few years have an old style machine as far as appearance is concerned. With a few dollars added now, you get the very latest thing out, and in all probability, it will be many years before any sewing machine stand is brought out that will excel, if indeed equal, our special new drop head stand, which we offer at the extraordinarily low price of $24.75. The cut illustrates our new drop head stand Minnesota sewing machine closed, and as you see, it would be an ornament to any room in the house. Illustrated in picture made from photograph, you see how easily the machine is brought in place for use. It works automatically, and it is only necessary to raise the leaf when the head automatically comes to its position. You have then the machine extended with a large table and can proceed with your work. The bracket, which may from the above illustration look as though it would be an obstruction in operating the machine, raises automatically when the machine head is raised and brought into use. In addition to the better appearance one of our drop head stands makes, in addition to the different uses to which it can be put, we also recommend it as a better protection to the machine against dust and dirt. The machine, when not in use, is securely encased and free from any dust or dirt, and for that reason, the chances of getting out of order are next to impossible. In fact, if you buy a Minnesota machine, one of our latest style drop head stand cabinets, it will last a lifetime, and the probabilities are it will never require a moment's time for repairs. We make special terms on the drop head stand Minnesotas, not because we make any more profit on the machine, but because of their many advantages and the general satisfaction they give. From everyone to whom we have sold this machine, we receive letters saying, "I am so glad I bought your drop head machine. The cost was but little difference, and the machine is so much nicer, so much more convenient, and I am so much better pleased." Item 91018. New drop head stand Minnesota sewing machine with 5 drawers. Price $24.75. Item 91024. High arm Acme sewing machine. The Acme is a new machine made at Rockford, Illinois, by a concern which has been manufacturing high-grade sewing machines for the last 25 years. They have just put the Acme machine on the market, a machine to supersede all others, the highest grade sewing machine they have ever made. The Acme sewing machine possesses the good qualities of every high-grade machine this manufacturer has made, with the defects of none. 25 years of uninterrupted and successful sewing machine experience have gone into this high-grade Acme machine to make it one of the very best on the market. The little defects of other machines that this maker has made in the past 20 years have been eliminated from our Acme until there is nothing about this machine but what is strictly modern, thoroughly up to date, of the highest grade that can possibly be made, and equal to any machine on the market regardless of price. The demand we have received for sewing machines the past year has caused us to enlarge our line of machines and increase the variety to an extent that no customer need buy a machine elsewhere. This illustration will give you an idea of the appearance of the Acme sewing machine head. The picture shown is engraved from a photograph. You will see that this is one of the highest sewing machine heads made, strongly and substantially built, with very large space under the arms for sewing bulky goods such as cloaks, dresses, coats, etc. The space under the arm is 5 3/4 inches by 9 1/4 inches. Bed plates are 7 inches wide. Total length of head 16 1/4 inches. Height from bed plate to top of needle bar 8 3/4 inches. You will see the Acme has the highest arm, is neat and handsome in design. highly polished, japanned, and protected by hard finish, is ornamented in gold with enough delicate color to relieve it of plainness. All the usual parts are highly nickel-plated. In fact, there is no more handsome sewing machine made by any concern. The Acme is simple in construction, has less parts than most first-class sewing machines, hence not easy to get out of order. No sewing machine runs lighter. No machine makes less noise. Very simple in construction, a child can operate it. By following our instruction book which goes with each machine, no teaching is necessary. Even if you have never seen a sewing machine, you can use the Acme from the start. The Acme uses the same needle as the domestic or any other first-class machine, so you can get them anywhere. Every dealer keeps them. From the above illustration, you can see the appearance of our high-grade Acme sewing machine when set up and ready for use. No machine has a more complete set of attachments. Item 91024. Our special price for the Acme with 2 drawers, cover, and drop leaf, $17.50. Item 91025. Our special price for the Acme with 5 drawers, cover, and drop leaf, $18.50. Item 91026. Our special price for the Acme with 7 drawers, cover, and drop leaf, same as illustrated above, $19.50. And with that tempting and low-priced offer, I think we'll end this evening's reading from the 1897 Sears Roebuck & Co. Consumer's Guide. What a comprehensive and highly detailed description of these sewing machines they provided. And honestly, the illustrations are quite beautiful. I think I'll post a few of those cuts over on Patreon so you can see them for yourself. I hope you enjoyed that. Unfortunately, I'm reading from a printed book, so I won't be able to provide an ebook for you. But if you should ever come across one of these catalogs, I highly recommend breezing through it. If you'd like to connect, suggest a boring book you'd like to hear read, or request more from one we've already started, you can drop me an email via our website, www.boringbookspod.com. It's always a pleasure to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining me for this evening's reading, and for 400 evenings of reading over the past 7.5 years. Until our next boring book, good night.